Well, everybody, welcome back to the shop. My name is Deez. This is my workshop. Today, we're going to do a little bit of restocking of materials. In the past, I don't promote these folks or anything, but I have purchased protobox from Online Metals. There's probably many other sources out there, but I thought the packages that I got had plenty of variety of material just to get started with random projects. But I wanted to get a little bit more, so I have some stocks for different projects and whatnot. So I bought a couple more of these protoboxes, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to reorganize some of this. It's kind of becoming a little bit of a mess to grab what I need, but I want to utilize this back storage a little bit better since I have more storage in total. So you can see I've already threw up some of the brass, which, you know, there's some pretty decent chunks that they sent with that. But, you know, some nice hex stock, some angle. But with that, we're going to go ahead and pull that stuff off of there, kind of reorganize, see what we have, and we'll clean it up. All right, so like I said a moment ago, we got some pretty decent brass that was shipped to us in that second shipment. I mean, that's a pretty hefty chunk. I think the idea is most of the stuff is not a full 12 inches because they can sell this stuff by the foot. So if they got something that's 11 inches, like this actually is 12.5 inches long, this piece of brass. It's a pretty impressive piece of brass. It's 1.5 inch square. 1.5 inch square brass, 12.5 inches long. That's a pretty good chunk for some future projects, especially when I get a milling machine. And then of course some of this I already had, but they sent this hex stock, this angle, some more, you know, some half round. You know, that could come in handy someday. Some pretty decent solid rod on that. Some more hex stock, some tubing. Anyway, I'm all set with brass. This gives me a lot of variety to make cool knobs or caps or just different little projects. So, as I was saying, I still have this. I'm going to hang on to this. When someone made a comment that this nickel aluminum bronze round bar is some pricey stuff for bushing material, I'm going to hang on to that one. The rest seems to be just standard brass, but we do want to get this stuff off of here. Interesting stuff anyway. Half round, who knows. This one I already had. This one I bought off of Amazon. It was a 4-inch piece, and I used some for that hammer face up there. I think that was 30 bucks by itself, which is half the cost of one of these 20-pound proto boxes. So something to keep in mind. Let's get this out of the way. But yeah, just a lot of different stock, random type stuff, you know, cut-offs. Like I said, most of it is not even a foot long, or else they can sell it. But yeah, it's decent material for different projects, you know, tubes and small rods. If you're making any scales or handles for, like I showed in a previous video, you can use some of this stuff as pins. You can get pretty creative. But I do like, after you turn the brass, it sure does look good. It's pretty material. Get this guy out of here. Some more hex stock. I just want to organize all this better. Here's some flat bar that I got. So they don't just send round stock. I mean, if you're going to be picky about what you get, don't buy one of these proto boxes. There's some flat bar. I could see that coming in handy someday. And then this one came this last time. Really decent chunk of not quite inch It's extruded hex bar, 938 thou. Kind of an odd size, I think. Maybe that's standard. They sent an angle, some angle iron, angle brass, 1.5 inch, extruded. And then I had, you know, some more round bar, some tube, and whatnot. This stuff I already had before. A nice piece of hex and some round material that was donated to the channel by someone early on. Will, thank you again. And finally, my dad gave me these. I figured I'd use them as makeshift V blocks for different projects as I'm working on different things. And that's it for the brass. I got some steel, some aluminum, and then some flat aluminum plate that they sent in the last one. I'll show you real quick some of the other new stock that I got. This is all the aluminum I had from before, but besides the aluminum, let me bring it down. So they sent this. Again, it's 2-inch round extruded. This is pretty impressive. I think if I was to add this stuff up, it's going to cost more than this protobox cost. Not quite 12 inches. Like I said, they have to sell it in foot long. If you paid for a foot and you got 11.5 inches, you're going to be ticked off. So what they do is they take these offcuts, throw them in a package. Some tubing. I don't know what the benefit over this. This is cold finish aluminum round, 1.5 inches. But again, that's pretty substantial pieces of aluminum, solid aluminum. And then there was some smaller, there was aluminum hex and smaller aluminum round bar. They sent this tube, who knows, that could come in handy for something. Then really just a pipe, pretty thin walled stuff, never know. Then this was kind of interesting. Gives me some ideas, but they sent some pretty thick walled tubing, as well as some very large tubing, 3-inch tubing. I'm thinking about maybe trying to make a oil container out of this stuff, since it's already bored out, and that would be a lot less material that I'd have to hog out of that solid chunk that I have over there. But to wrap up the aluminum side, we've got, you know, some T material, some more flat stock, some U channel, some flat bar. Here's some angle bar, some square tubing, a couple different sizes of square tubing, some U channel, some more U channel, and finally a couple larger pieces of flat stock. These were obviously cut-offs from something that somebody ordered. But anyway, interesting assortment. Again, I think it's a value. If you don't know what you need as far as materials go, I think it's a value for the money that it costs. At least for me, I don't have local shops where I can just scavenge and get this kind of stock. These are great starting points for using a small mini machine like this, whether you're doing a milling machine or a lathe. So it works out really well. I'm going to stop talking here, and now that we're just going to carry on with cleaning all of this off, making some room, and better organize all this stuff. And when we're done, I got a nice surprise to show at the end. Alright, as you can see, I was really trying to be meticulous in saving the bottom two storage areas, and I have a reason for that. So I need to find a place to put this flat stock. I will find a place. It'll go in here. It doesn't look terribly organized, but at least I know what I got. I went through it all. We got some random chunks here and there. We got some square tubing, some angle iron, some T molding, flat stock. We've got our tubing. We've got solid stock. A lot of solid stock. I'm really excited about this. I think I'm going to be able to make my no spill oil container, but I think I'm going to make I'm going to start with some of this other material since it's already hollow, and see if I can do some threading and make with some of this other stock that I have, make the top portion and thread it in. It'll give me, it's a lot of material that I can play with and work with, so I'm quite happy with that. You know, I got some big 2-inch material. This will be fun. I got lots of stuff to work with. Lots of brass, really good looking brass. A couple plates of steel and aluminum. I need to get those put in there. And then I'll show you one final grab for materials that I got. Kind of excited about this one. Alright, so I will show you what it is that I'm kind of excited about. It's kind of silly, it's just more materials, but let's show you what I got. Sorry for the shaky cam. So this is I wanted to get some plastics, some nylon, some Delrin, some whatever you want to call it, for varying projects. You know, perhaps I want to make another handle for my other file that I have up here, or different projects using a lighter weight material. You know, the hammer face that I made before, I got more options to make more of those types of things. Anyway, it's a good prototyping material, and it's a good all-around practice material as well. It does make a bit of a mess, but on the other hand, it's easy to work with, easy to machine, and gives me some more options for different projects. So I wanted to share this with you. This is how the proto boxes that I bought came. They just kind of wrap it all up, they ship it out. You do kind of pay per pound for shipping. It's not cheap shipping. Unless you're near one of these joints, you can go pick it up yourself. But anyway, that's why I wanted to leave the bottom two storage shelves open, so I can get all this material stored away, go through this, see exactly what I got, and I thought I would share it with you. So let's get this opened up, try not to lose it on the floor, and we'll see what we got. This knife is not the sharpest. Maybe I'll identify these all someday. It's a pretty big chunk right there. What is that? That's probably 3-inch, I'm guessing. Yeah. 3-inch. It's over 3 inches. 3-inch, 115 thou. 3-inch, 150 thou. 115 thou. Anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, this blade's about had it. Acetron GP 10 mil, 3/8 inch. interesting. Nice piece of nylon plastic. Got some square stock. Again, this stuff will be nice when I get a mill. Just scraps, 1-inch square there. They're really just cut-offs, but hey, you never know. Here's a piece of fiberboard of some sort. Might be good on like for a scale, maybe for like a knife handle. Looks to be fiberglass of some sort, the way that it's cracking there. So I'm not sure what I'll use that for. Keep going. There's some more of that. Delrin. That's what this black stuff is. Delrin. Black rod. Some more of that white nylon. It's almost like cutting board material. Some flat pieces for who knows what kind of project. Put that over here. It's a pretty big chunk. Like I said, milling machine, this stuff, who knows what I'd be able to do with that. That'd be fun. And that's most of that. Let's keep going here. We have some clear rod. Might be an interesting project with that. Nice piece of 1.5 inch, nope, 2-inch. It's a good piece. It's a pretty big one. Nylon or something here. This is 2 1/4. Some more cut-offs, and here's some more of that. It's got to be fiberglass, I'm guessing. Just random round stuff. This is exactly what I expected. There's a nice square chunk. Acetal round Delrin. I guess Delrin plastic, whatever it is. So this one's almost 16 inches. And then some varying flat pieces again. Thinner sheet. And finally, a thicker one. One-inch marine board. They call it marine board. If you're interested. Anyway, so that is some new materials that I'll be able to work with, and I wanted to share that with you. So make sure you're in shot here and can see all that stuff. So anyway, now we're going to go ahead and figure out where this stuff fits on our bottom shelf, and now we have a re-inventory, restocking of our project stock, and we're ready to make some future projects. So I've got my plastics on the bottom. I have my aluminum on this. This is primarily what I've been using and working with. My steel is in the back. My brass is in the back. And then there's some flat square stock plastics on the bottom back. And a really big chunk of round stock in the back as well. So any number of this material is going to be good for varying projects. But there's pretty decent haul. This will probably be one of the last proto boxes that I buy. I'll start buying project-specific materials as time goes on, and that way, you know, I have exactly what I need. I'm not just buying random stuff. But it really is nice when you're starting out and you don't have anything, any stock or anything. It really is nice to have a variety of materials to come out in the shop, ask yourself, what am I going to make today? And just look at your materials and make a decision, you know. And that's a lot of what I do. Come out here and I just kind of look at what I have. And then I decide, yeah, I'm going to make this, I'm going to make that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Again, I personally don't have access to a lot of materials. I know I could go to some salvage yards and ask around, but for the most part, I just don't have access to that stuff. So this is a great way for me to obtain materials, stock it up, and get ready for that next project. Anyway, we're restocked, ready to go. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one.